Hey brother, here is my 4 years natural calisthenics transformation. And as you can see, I went from this skinny and weak boy to this muscular guy with just 4 years of training calisthenics naturally. And in this video, I will tell you what I would do if tomorrow morning I would wake up being skinny and weak like I was 4 years ago. 50 kilograms, skinny, weak, invisible. Here is what I would do. 3 steps that I would take right now that will help me much easier and much faster to get back to where I am right now. So this is probably the most valuable video on this channel because I will break down the steps I took and that I would take right now in order to getting back to where I am right now, looking like a Greek god. So welcome brother, my name is Luka Tepšić, and on this channel Tepša Fit I help men get stronger, get better and successful. So if you're interested in that, subscribe to this channel. I don't want to waste your time no more. Why would I want to get back to where I am right now if I woke up skinny tomorrow? Well, because of 5 things. Those are respect, fun, discipline, attraction and health. So these 5 things. First one, respect. While I was skinny, nobody respected me. They were treating me like a shit because when you're skinny and weak, they laugh at you, they push you around, and you can't even defend yourself. So they start even more disrespecting you. And that's what gave me the motivation to change. So I changed, and now the people who disrespected me in the past, they respect me today the most because they saw me change. Now they come to me respecting me and asking me to give them advice to change themselves. So that is the first thing, and that is very nice feeling when you get better than the people who were treating you with disrespect. Now they start treating you respectfully and it's a completely different life. The second thing is attraction. While I was skinny and weak, you can see that I wasn't attractive, and you can see that I had tough time attracting girls. But as soon as you gain some muscles and as soon as you change yourself a little bit, they suddenly start liking you. And the better you get, the more they start liking you, the more they are attracted to you. So that is the big thing I've realized while I was going to school. They were laughing at me. They were mad at me for no reason when I was skinny. Now, when I got attractive, in the past, when I got stronger and bigger, they started liking me. It's a weird thing, but it's a very pleasant feeling. So that is the second thing. The third thing is fun. It's fun to be jacked. It's fun to be strong and to be muscular. So that is the third thing. The fourth thing is health. Health, because when I built a body like this, I changed my health, I changed my heart. My heart is stronger, my whole body is stronger. I was feeling sick like 5 times a year while I was skinny. I was weak. My immune system was very weak. When I got stronger and bigger, my immune system got stronger and bigger. So now I get sick for the past few years only around once per year. So that is the fourth thing. And the fifth thing is discipline. When you work your way up to something like that, building a great body, great physique, building strength and health, you're naturally gonna get disciplined. So I got disciplined just by building my own body because I trained when I didn't want to train. I had tough days, I had tough weeks, I didn't want to train. It was cold, it was dark, but I still went outside and I still did my training in my backyard at the pull-up bar. I was doing pull-ups, dips, I still did my training, and that's why I got results right now. So those are the 5 things why I would want to get back to where I am right now. Because I've built attraction, I've built strength, it's fun, I've built discipline and health. So those are the 5 things. And of course I get respect, much more respect from other people. They start liking me more they started liking me more when I got bigger and stronger. So how I would get back, what I would do first. So tomorrow morning I woke up skinny, weak again. What I would do? I would start immediately training calisthenics because, as I said, I built my body with calisthenics. Why calisthenics? Why didn't I go to the gym? Well, I went to the gym for 1 month after training calisthenics for 1 year. And I saw that my body changed, but not in a way I wanted to change. Because with calisthenics, I'm building this lean, masculine, Greek god kind of physique. Because think about it, the Greek gods in the past, did they really have access to the gym? Or were they training with their own body weights? Were they doing pull-ups, push-ups, doing planks, squats, those kinds of exercises where you use your body and do these compound movements with your body, and they looked like gods, they were aesthetic, they were lean, shredded, they were masculine, Spartans, Greeks in the past. They didn't have access to the gym. So after 1 year of training calisthenics, I kind of got bored with calisthenics, so I wanted to try gym. And I went for 1 month and I got slower, I got fatter, and I didn't feel good as I was feeling while I was training calisthenics. So I went back to the calisthenics. And when you're training in the gym, it's kind of unnatural. You're training in the four walls. It smells like shit. Honestly, it smells like sweat and shit in the gym. And it's not really that pleasant of feeling. Everything is sweaty. You're training with other people who are fat, who are sweaty. So I don't want to train with other people who are like that. I want to train outside, in the nature, in the sun, looking at the sky, at the sun, looking at the clouds. Nature is there, everything is beautiful, smells nicely, fresh air, everything is great when you're training outside, you're training in the park. So that's why I started training calisthenics, and that's why I would start training calisthenics if I woke up tomorrow skinny and weak again. How many times per week would I train? I would train around 5 or 6 times per week, maybe even 6 times per week, because the more you do, the more you get. The more you give yourself, the more you will get. So it's simple with everything in life. The more you give yourself into something, the more you can get something out of that. For example, with training calisthenics, I would train 6 times per week. I would train from Monday to Saturday, and I would rest on Sunday. So I would train my upper body 4 times per week and my lower 2 times per week. And in the beginning, as a beginner, I would just try to do these simple routines and exercises. As I said, pull-ups, push-ups, dips, squats, sit-ups, and plank. Those are the exercises I would do on a weekly basis regularly. So I would try to improve with doing just normal sets. For example, my maxes when I was beginner was around 10 pull-ups, around 35 push-ups. I don't know about squats. So 10 pull-ups, 35 push-ups. What I would do as a beginner, I would start training again, and I would start trying to break my maxes and to get to an intermediate kind of a level where I would be able to do around 20 pull-ups, around 50 or even more push-ups. That's the intermediate level of calisthenics, of high reps calisthenics. That's where you can start doing these different kinds of workouts. For example, pyramids and EMOMs. Pyramids are the workouts where you will just do kind of a ladder system, where you'll start at 1 pull-up, for example, and every next set you will add 1 more pull-up. So you will rest always 1 minute in the pyramids, for example. You will rest 1 minute and you will gradually add more pull-ups every single set. First set you start with 1, second set you do 2 pull-ups, third set you do 3 pull-ups, fourth you do 4 pull-ups, and you go up to 10, around 10, if you're intermediate. And then you get back down from 9, 8, 7 to 1 again, always resting 1 minute between the sets. And that's kind of a pyramid workout where you will improve different kind of strength, where you kind of get more endurance, but you're still improve with calisthenics. So those are the more advanced variations of trainings. And of course, EMOMs. EMOM, for example, is every minute on the minute, which means every minute you will do the same amount of reps in 1 minute. That means, for example, with pull-ups, you will do 5 pull-ups every single minute. So the first minute starts, you will do 5 pull-ups. First minute starts, you do 5 pull-ups. The second minute starts, you do 5 pull-ups again, and you rest until the next minute starts. So that way you will do, for example, for your pull workout, 30 minutes EMOM of 5 pull-ups per 1 minute. So that way you will do 150 pull-ups, and every minute you're gonna do 5 pull-ups, and you're gonna rest until the next minute starts. So that is how you train EMOMs, and EMOMs are the great way to build endurance and to build muscle. So that is what I would do as an intermediate, and I would train, as I said, still 6 times per week. I would do around 2 times per week legs. I would do 2 times per week these kinds of trainings, pyramids or EMOMs, and 2 times per week I would try still to push my maxes, and I would do them this way. For example, my pull-ups max is 25 pull-ups in a row. What I would do is I would do less sets, but I would do more repetitions. So I want to increase my max rep number. I would do, for example, 18 pull-ups for 5 sets, and I would rest between the sets for around 3 to 5 minutes. That way I will keep improving my max repetitions 2 times per week, and I would keep improving my endurance, so I can get this athletic and lean kind of body with calisthenics. So that is what I would do for intermediate athlete, and now I progressed much in a matter of 1 or 2 years. Now I'm a kind of advanced calisthenics athlete. I'm where I am right now, so I'm able to do more than 30 pull-ups, more than 60 or 70 push-ups without stopping in a row. That is where you're more of an advanced athlete, and that is where you will still keep doing these kinds of routines 6 times per week, 2 times per week. You're breaking your maxes 2 times per week. You're training these different variations of trainings, pyramids and EMOMs, and 2 times per week you're training your legs. But what you will do is you will progressively keep improving the numbers and maybe lowering the rest or adding a little bit more time under tension. That way you will always keep improving with high reps calisthenics, and that way you will get to the level where I am right now. So that is what I would do, and I would get much faster to where I am right now, because the first few years, maybe the first year, I didn't know what I was doing with calisthenics. I was just training what I felt like was good, and of course when you're training like that, you're not gonna gain as much results as when you're training with a plan. You're not gonna get the same results when you're training like that and when you're training with a plan. So that is the simple common knowledge. So that is what I would do with my training. I would start calisthenics and I would start improving with calisthenics. The second thing I would do is about dieting. I would stop thinking about calories or foods. I would just use this simple rule that I've made for myself and for everyone else that you can follow. Is really simple. If it's grown or if it's hunted, then you can eat it. If it's from the fabric, you throw it in the garbage. What does that mean? That means you must eat natural foods that are whole foods, 1 ingredient foods that don't have seed oils or processed sugars in them. Foods like meats, fruits, eggs, nuts, vegetables, the 1 ingredient foods that come from the nature. Those foods are healthy, and you don't even need to think about calories or anything like that, because they're healthy and you should eat them. If you're eating fabric processed foods, you're going to have excess fat, you're going to fuck up your health, and you're going to die sooner because of them. So don't eat processed foods from the fabrics, eat the foods that come from the nature. That I would do. And I wouldn't even think about counting calories or tracking my weight, any of that bullshit I wouldn't do. I would just eat as much as I can. Eggs. I would eat as many eggs as I possibly can for dinner. I eat the day around 8, 10, 12 eggs every single day for dinner, and I feel better than ever, I'm stronger than ever. So that is what I would do. I would start eating more eggs, and I would start eating more meat, more fruits, more veggies, the whole foods that come from the nature. And I would think about dieting, keto diets, carnivore diets, none of that, just eating normal regular foods without thinking about eating a bullshit processed foods. That way I would keep getting stronger, keep getting leaner, keep getting bigger, because natural foods have more protein than the processed fabric foods. So that is the second thing. And the third and the last thing for this video is consistency and a plan. Consistency is the most important thing, because I would try to be as consistent as possibly I could, and I'm always trying to be consistent. Consistency is not what most people think it is. People think consistency is when you're always showing up. Not really always showing up, but when you're always at 100% every single day. 6 times per week, you have to be at 100% every workout. You have to give yourself maximum. Well, that is not really consistency. Consistency is showing up even after 5 years of training calisthenics. It's showing up even after 3 weeks of feeling sick. Or consistency is really never giving up. It's always trying to get better and always striving for more. That is actually consistency. So I would keep being consistent, and that way I would get back as soon as possible. Because if you give up, it's over. If you just train 1 time per week for a few months, you'll get this amount of results, while you could have gotten much more results. So try to follow your plans. That is the most important thing. You have to know a plan. You have to make yourself a plan that you will follow, because you have this goal to achieve this kind of physique, because you have this goal to achieve Greek god kind of physique. You have to make yourself a plan that you will follow. As I said, first year of me training calisthenics, I didn't have a plan. I didn't know what I was doing, and that's why I didn't make as much as progress as I possibly could be making in that first year. That's why I was looking kind of not really the same, but I was making progress, but not as nearly as much progress as I would make with plan. You have to know what days you're gonna be working your upper body, what days you're gonna be working your lower body, how many times per week you're gonna train. Everything. You must have it prepared, and you must follow it consistently in order to achieve greater results. So that's it for this video, brother. I hope I helped you with it. If I did, leave a like, subscribe to this channel, and if you want me to help you personally, one-on-one, or I can write you a workout plan that will help you achieve your goals, link is in the description. First link. Follow me on Instagram, send me a message there in DM, and I'll be responding as soon as possible, and I'll help you achieve your calisthenics goals. All you really need to write me down is you have to tell me your age, your height, your weight, and your training goal. That way I will be able to help you personally achieve your goals. And yeah, brother, I hope you like this video. I will see you in the next one. Keep your reps in.